We're two sisters with 10 adult kids between us, and we thought parenting would get easier once the kids grew up. We were wrong.
From navigating careers, relationships, and moving back in, adult kids bring a whole new set of parenting challenges.
Join us as we share real stories,
Lessons learned,
and plenty of laughs.
because parenting doesn't end, it just changes.
These can't be my kids,
But they are.
Don't forget to follow,
Like,
comment,
share.
subscribe,
You can find us on YouTube,
Apple,
Spotify.
and everywhere you want to be.
Welcome back to These Can't Be My Kids. I'm Leila,
And I'm Karen.
and today we're going to talk about
Shit happens. Might as well just go all the way in it. Shit happens. Like, shit happens when y'all don't like, comment, like we asked y'all to at the end of the episode. Shit happens.
Yeah, definitely it does.
Yeah.
Um,
So if you like this episode after you listen to it all the way through, like, comment, and subscribe.
okay. That's what we doing, y'all. Like, commenting, and subscribing.
That's how we come today. Listen, we almost done with season 2, so we're gonna end out the end of the season with a bang. We're gonna end out season 2 like Crawford did last night in the fight. Yeah.
I mean, he did go all 12 rounds.
Nobody expected him. They expected him to get knocked out, and they didn't expect us to go to season 2.
True. But, here we are on
Yes.
episode 8 of season 2.
Yes, and
Ready
still
to
talking
keep it
about
moving.
these crazy kids that
Yes.
can't be my kids. They just can't.
Yeah. But they are. So tonight we're going to just kind of talk about a hodgepodge of things that are related to parenting adults. The mess that doesn't stop and somehow still gets more expensive.
Ooh, yours is expensive. Mine is more heart problems.
Yes, y'all, these heart problems for Karen. However, I will say that I was proud of her this week because, last week we talked about her putting something on the agenda for herself. And she actually did go ahead and put something on the agenda for herself. She took care of herself this week. Even though it was a struggle, she could probably tell you a little bit more about how much of a struggle it was for her to do it. Yes.
It was
She was like second. She was second and third thinking, she was like, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I shouldn't,
it
maybe I
was
shouldn't.
complete anxiety for me because I'm so used to taking care of these kids or them having a problem. I was like, oh my God, if I spend this money to take care of me, somebody's gonna call me and say,
I need something.
I need something.
And they did.
Yeah.
And they did. But she definitely decided that she was going to focus on herself. So that's a positive, right? We're going to take that and we're going to say, hooray, hooray for Karen this week.
Y'all ever had that moment you get paid and then you scared to touch your paycheck? Because it's like, oh my God, these kids, they're going to need something. And let's remember, right? I have adult children, 38, 39, all the way down to 24. I have adult children, and I was literally having an anxiety attack about doing something for me. The person who actually worked the damn job,
who earned the money, yes,
was scared to spend her money because her adult children might need something.
Yeah.
But shit happens.
I mean, we know, like, nothing says grown child like those Venmo requests that are labeled emergency. Is it theirs or is it mine?
Girl, speaking of,
I'm like confused because I don't have no emergency when my paycheck hits.
Listen, Elijah called me, blew up my phone 15,000 times talking about you're not picking up your phone. Well, number one, I'm busy. Number two, I'm at the job that I'm working at to get the paycheck that you're going to ask me some money from. But then he called me like it was an extreme emergency. So I'm like, what is wrong? Are you dying? Something happened to your kid? Like, what's happening?
Nothing.
I'm running out of gas.
Yeah, well, ain't that why you working? You ain't make no money yet in your work?
He did. He called me earlier and asked me to transfer some money for him out of his account. So
Girl.
you had money. So
Y'all, she is their personal banker for real. They all call her transfer this, move that. I don't know why they don't have. I don't know. Their bank is called Karen. They don't have like Chase or Bank of America or whoever else is out there, PNC, all these banks. No, even Cash App is a bank now. But you know who they call? Karen.
that is so true.
Transfer this, move that. She like their personal assistant, their secretary, their everything. I'm like, girl, you do too much for them. My kids know not to ask me to kind of keep their money, because what happens when I keep their money is they don't get to spend it. They have learned that, because when they had jobs, they had to put their money in savings. I definitely set up a saving HR probably violation. Definitely went into their direct deposit and set up a savings account for them to put their check deposits in. So some of their money straight out their check went into a savings deposit, which is now how they can live a little bit off of without having a job, right? Because I made them save when they did have a job, so they actually still pull from that savings. Now, it ain't gonna last them forever,
Right.
but it do last them a little bit. But Karen's kids, they be like, Mom, transfer this, send this. Can you do that?
They
be
do.
like,
They
Every
do.
time we somewhere, they calling her talking about,
I need you to transfer. Can you transfer this from my savings account to my to the main account? And then could you do? Yeah. Or then there's Kamani, who finally came back from Colombia, y'all, and went back to work. And then it's, can I borrow?
Until payday.
Do anybody know what an adult child's payday is?
It don't come.
Is it Friday?
It's never.
Is it Thursday?
Because you know what I learned about my kids and their paydays is like when they do, they use that payday thing where you get your check 2 days before actual payday. So by the time I'm hitting them up on payday, talking about where's that money you borrowed, then it's already spent, because they got paid on Wednesday. The 2 days before the payday. So
yeah, it's just like, do they actually have a payday?
I don't think they have a payday.
Yeah, I don't think they have it, or it's made up somewhere, or it's imaginary.
Yeah, I don't know what be going on with them.
And back to Elijah too, he's the other one, right? He rents a car for his job. He does, he has this job. Anyway.
Well, that boy, his cars, he has the worst luck with them. Every time I hear you talking to him, he like the tire blew up, the tire went flat, the tire had a nail, the tire had a pin. I'm like, what the heck?
The oil, he don't know whether it's the oil, the transmission fluid, the windshield wiper
He
fluid.
has the worst luck with these cars.
And then he wonder why he don't have his own car.
I'm like, you need to find a new company. I don't know who he using, but he need to get a new company.
Yeah, but you know what? It goes to show that if you can't even take care of somebody else's car, there's no way in the world you're gonna be able to take care of your own personal car.
That is
because you haven't. And then he swears,
that is true.
Once I get my own car, I'll be able to do such and such and such. No, you're not even taking care of the little thing that you have. Girl, these kids is crazy.
Yeah.
Listen, what episode are we on? Because it's already.
It's 2-8, y'all. We on season 2, episode 8, and it's been a bunch. So yeah,
it's already.
And what I tell you, mine be asking for money for frontals.
Oh, front lace.
Front lace and all this other stuff. But then she posting TikTok and Instagrams with mimosas and like Mr. Krabs. I'm like,
Mr. Krabs.
You could go to Mr. Talking about she want to go to Ruth Chris.
Well,
I'm like, I ain't even trying to hit up Ruth Chris like weekly or nothing, but here she go. Like, ooh, can I get a Ruth Chris? I'm like, you could do whatever you want, but
and Ruth Chris don't have no
listen.
They don't have no prices on their menu.
That sound luxury to me for somebody who don't have a job and don't have no money, asking me to borrow money.
But you know what? We sit up here every week and we tell you these stories about our children, right? Because it's real, right? It's the emotional shit. It's the financial shit. It's the relationship stuff. We ain't even get there yet. And we on season 2. We ain't even get to the relationship stuff yet,
y'all.
Right? That'll probably be season 3. But it's all of these things that we talk about with our adult children, right? And the gist of it is, I don't know. For me, it's like, I don't want to see my children struggle so much. But then in the same sense, I don't want them to struggle, but it's causing me to struggle. And then there is a million things that I need to do that I haven't even gotten to yet because I'm doing catch up on stuff all because I'm trying to help my children. And it's so crazy because Michaela called me and she asked me why I didn't pick up my phone. Because one of the things I've been doing is trying not to pick up the phone for them every time they call. Right? Not
Girl,
trying to be so
they in
available.
withdrawal.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
So she calls me and she was like, why are you not answering the phone? You never answer the phone. Because I have to. It's my phone. She was like, yes, you do. It's a part of your job of being a parent. Is it?
I mean, once they become adults, is it a requirement?
But here's the crazy part. They don't pick up the phone when I call like that.
Yeah.
They don't. But
No, they don't. And I be like on AT&T, y'all, I be like, let me just, if they don't answer my phone calls after a certain amount of time, because unfortunately they still on my phone bill. But I'll be like, let me turn this off.
But my question is, and this is just general conversation between me and you, but this is a question for all of you out there that are still going through what we're going through. Because one of the things that we say over and over again, we understand that this is a large private community. And when I say that, I say in the meaning that there is a lot of us that are still taking care of our adult children in some shape, fashion, or form, right? But it's private because we don't talk about it too often. We talk about the little kids, the 7, 8, the 9, the 10, 11, 12s. But when they get over 21, we don't talk about it. And I don't know if it's because we embarrassed.
I think people are embarrassed.
You think so?
I think people are
Maybe.
embarrassed because we do so much for them, right? Like when you raising your kids, you want your kids to grow up to be productive member of societies. You know, all those people that's out there bragging, oh, my kid went to college, they went to this HBCU, or they went to Yale or Harvard or wherever they went, right? They a lawyer, they a doctor, they whatever they are. And then you have those of us whose kids are just normal, right? Like, and when I say normal, I mean, like, they're just everyday people. They didn't become some famous anything. And then some of them aren't even doing anything, right? Like, I have kids that ain't doing anything. So people be asking me, like, people go, oh, how are your kids? What they doing? I'm like, nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. They sitting around living off me, doing nothing. And it's like, is that what I want to say to people when they ask me about my kids? Is that what I want to say? No, you don't want to say that. So generally what we say, we be like, oh, they okay, you know, unless it's something major, especially when you're talking to people that you don't really know that well, right? Like we talk to each other
Right.
and we put all that out there. But when we're talking to people who we don't know all that well, it's like, who wants to say that? It feels like a failure almost, you know. It's like, dang, so my kid didn't even become, I can't even be like, oh, they got a good job, they out here working, they being productive. No, I gotta be like, they ain't doing nothing.
So are we embarrassed because the kids are not doing anything, or are you embarrassed because you are not doing what, setting the boundaries of doing what you need to do to get your kid up and make sure, like, so, like, when you say,
But what does that look like?
yeah, that's my next question.
Yeah,
So
what
when
does
you
that
say
look like?
they're doing nothing, what is it that can be done to at least motivate them to not do nothing, to do something? Is that an embarrassment because we're not doing that?
I don't know, because do you even know how to do that? Like, I think we try to motivate them, right? Like, I know I talk to my kids, oh, y'all need to get a job. Let me help you with some recommendations. Let me talk to you about what you plan on doing with your life. Like, all of those things, you do that, but it still doesn't give them the push that they need. I think it's just generational things are different. And I see that because I have generational kids, right? I have one that's 35 and one that's 27 or 26 or whatever she is. And then there's the younger ones. And so each of them, you could see them living their lives differently based on their age and what they learned from living and growing up, right? You know, some of them are more where they focus on, okay, I'm gonna have a job. I'm gonna do a good job at my job. And then there's the ones that's like, a job for what? Like, why do I need to have a job? Like, what does jobs do for me? They don't do nothing for me. So why should I do that for them? You
Do you
know?
think that the consequences for each generation is different? Like when our 35-year-olds were growing up, right? The consequences for were different if they didn't do what they needed to do versus our children, our
100%.
24%, our 24%, our 24-year-olds, they don't have the consequences that our 35-year-olds
Hmm.
had. So because of that, they don't.
I just think the whole thing is different. Like, just thinking of the kid, and like, I don't have little kids today, right? But we met somebody earlier who said that she was on a vacation, and so she bought this bracelet that said "F them kids." Of course, it said the full word, and she said when her son saw it, who was 9 years old, he was like, "Oh, what if I said that about you?" I think back to when I was 9 years old. If I had even approached my mama with something about what if I said that to you,
Mhm.
girl,
Yeah.
I'd have been like kicked butt so bad. Like, it's just different generations. And so, and I don't think her kid was trying to be
Right.
disrespectful or anything, right? I mean, I'm sure she's a good parent. Her kid is a good kid, but it's just like the generation, the freedoms, right? It's so different from today to back then. So the consequences of their actions are very different. They don't really, I don't know what the consequences are for today's kids because they have parents like us, right? And it goes back to like, so if my kid doesn't have a place to live, am I just going to be like, too bad, so sad? And then let them be out on the street?
Well, according to your husband and a lot of other men, the answer is yes.
My husband lived right here with me with these same kids. So, but
um,
and maybe if I wasn't here, he would have that attitude with his kids. But I am here and he already knows like that's not gonna fly like that. But it's like, do I just let them like sleep in the park? Like, I don't know. Like, how do I do that? That like that's to me is not, that's not acceptable, right? That's not okay. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do with my kids. And so it's like,
so we let them sleep at home.
so we let them sleep at home.
Hmm. And
Yeah,
then
we
and
do.
then we stressed out because they sleeping at home.
We do.
Either way,
We
we gonna be
do.
stressed out.
But, it's like, hey, I mean, what else are we gonna do? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't have the answer. And that's why it's like we talk about, the community where we kind of, at least if nothing else, can talk to each other, right? I'm not, saying I have any solutions for all of this, but I do know I'm not the only one. And you're not the only one, right? We're not the only two people who find ourselves in these kind of situations where we want to kind of at least be able to talk about this stuff, right? And it's definitely, the stuff that happens with our kids. It's the financial stuff, it's the emotional stuff, it's the relationship stuff. Like, when you don't like they significant other, whoever that may be, you don't like they baby daddy, whoever that may be, like, you have these issues, you don't like they baby mama, all these different things, and we have to deal with those people on some aspects, right? Like,
Yeah.
your grandson, you don't have to, right? Because we could not deal with anybody. But when I say have to, it's like, if I want to be in my grandson's life and their parent, the other parent who is not my kid, I have to figure out how I'm going to engage with that person so that I can have a relationship with my grandchild.
And here's a part of consequences, right?
Yes.
Because now I've just come to this point where I can't. You know what? The other day I said a prayer and I was just like, okay, God, this has gotten to be way too much. It's a lot of toxicity
Mm.
and it's a lot of stress. So, I got to release it. I got to surrender. And I pray to God that my grandson, remembers me. And when the time is right, he'll be back in our lives because I choose not to deal with this. Right. But at the same token, as I'm saying that prayer about my son's choice of a baby
Correct.
mother.
And the whole time they was together, you was like shaking your head already,
Exactly,
like
right?
knowing that it wasn't gonna be a good scene.
At all.
But
And then I'm saying to myself, how is it that I can say so easy breezy, cover girl, okay, God, I release
Mm.
this, I surrender this. But when my sons are calling me, asking me to be their banker and transfer this money and that money, or when my son is calling,
Well, it's a
asking
different
me,
situation, right? Because that's your child, right? It's your child. And so when it's your child, you're more vested than you are in anything else. Grandchildren, yes, we care about them. We love them. We want to be involved with them, but they are grandchildren, right? They didn't come from our womb. They came from our womb's womb, right? In a sense. And
not
so,
boom, boom.
right. So you don't have that. And not saying you don't have an emotional attachment because you do, but it's not the same, right? You have a different outlook on it. And so it's a little bit easier to be able to say, hey, if I have to deal with this or if I don't get to deal with this, then that's what it is. So I think that's why it's harder for you to be like, I'm not going to do for my kid versus I'm going to allow this to occur as it relates to my grandkid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least for me. Like I have two grandkids and the parent that's not my child of each of them, like I could do without. Like I could never see them again a day in my entire life, and my life would be gravy. But they are both parents to their children, which means that I have to deal with them because I want to deal with their children. Like you ever wish for a deadbeat dad, y'all? I did. Not for
Ah,
me, but for them.
not wish for a deadbeat dad.
Okay. Maybe I shouldn't say it that way.
Oh,
But
not that. Dear God, please give me a
I'll be
deadbeat
like,
dad.
"Woo, please, like, let them walk out their life and never come back." But that's me, right? Because my grandkids also need their parents. And I would never want them to not have their parents, both their mother and their father. So, um, but at the same time, it's like, you see the toxicity of the relationship between the parents. And that's really what it boils down to for me. It's like seeing that toxicity of their relationship, it's not good for the grandkids.
Right.
And I wish I could rescue them. Like I wish I could be
Woo!
their parent, right? But I'm not their parent. I parented my kids and I gave them the best I could and whatever that was. And I sit back and I be like, I hope they ain't learned that relationship nonsense from me. But maybe they did. Maybe they saw something I was doing in one of my relationships that caused them to feel like whatever they're doing in their relationship is okay. But, for me, I'm like, you should have learned from the mistake I made and you should be doing something better, especially for your kid. Like, you want your kid to always do better, be better, see better. And that's the cycle that I think as parenting adults we get into. It's the cycle of always wanting our kids to have more, do more, see more, be more. I mean, kids today traveling like never before. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Listen.
Like they are traveling like we never, like when I was in my teens, I saw some kids. I was in, oh my gosh, I can't even remember where I was. I think I was in Greece, but I saw some kids, like they were young kids. They had to be early 20s. They couldn't have been more than 25. It was a cute couple. They were very cute. And they were out there, they looked like teenagers, but they was out there traveling in Italy. And I was like, dang, like kids like this is traveling to Italy? Like, what the heck? Like, no, that's not how it was for me. Like, I had to wait until I was grown, worked a number of years, many years before I even thought about getting a passport, right? But that's where that cycle, because we want to allow kids to do those things that we didn't get to do, that we go ahead and we sacrifice and we wear that cape that we talked about
Yeah.
last week. And it's like that cape is dragging us down and we just trying to figure out, how to get out of it, how to get from under it.
That's just like today, going out scouting and we meet the manager who ends up turning out to be the owner of this restaurant. Beautiful, gorgeous restaurant. Like when I tell you top tier, elegant restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they introduced her to us, I thought this girl was 15. Number one. I was like,
This one, she don't know how to hold her tongue to people, y'all. She telling this woman, you 15, you the manager?
like, this is before I found out she was even the owner, right? And then I get to talking to her, whatever. She tells me she's not 15, she actually 27. And as we continue on going through conversations, we find out that this girl is the owner
Mm.
of this establishment. When I looked at my sister, I said,
Well, she tried to say that I wasn't successful, y'all.
at 27, what was we doing?
At 27, I was living my best life.
Was we in the Zanzibar then?
I don't know where I was, but whatever I was doing, it was where I was supposed to be. You know why? Because God don't put us no place we ain't supposed to be, y'all. We gonna keep it there.
Sometimes you go places where Chicago does not to go.
Well,
but no, it was
that's
just
true too.
it's just like,
no,
yeah,
but it's
you're
also
right. You see that, and you see how, and
but
going back to
at
the kids
27, she's probably where she is because her parents did something that she, you know what I'm saying? Like it's probably a trickle effect.
Oh, I'm
Her
quite sure.
parents did something that allowed her to be able to be in the place that she's in, that she was able to open her own business and have this successful venue.
Yeah, which makes me
27.
Go, we are too. I'm letting my kids sleep and do nothing so they can like migrate their brain what they're supposed to be doing. And then by the time they do it, bam, it's done. Because you had all this time to think about it. Cultivate the plan.
She said sleep. All right.
But no, seriously though. No, seriously. And then, as we were going through the episodes and we were talking about all the things that have happened, whether you've seen the episodes or the clips, there's a lot of things that happen this season, right? From Leila's kids getting fired and she's the HR guru, from my son deciding to take his last paycheck to go to Columbia, to the things that Michaela be doing. Like, there has been a lot of
Karen's heart issue.
My heart issue, right? And we sit here, and that's why the title of this episode is called Shit Happens. Yeah. Because shit does happen. The question is, what are you going to do about it? What are we going to do? And that's the call to action that we are bringing out to you guys, because we already discussed our struggles. Leila said, what is it that I'm supposed to say to my kids? Do I want them to go sleep in the park? I would rather them sleep at home versus being outside in the park. But I also know them sleeping at home doing nothing is not benefiting them or me. Correct. So what is there that we could do? What are some of the suggestions, comments, cries of outrage? Because that's where I can say this. Cries of outrage, right? My heart condition, right? I'm able to set aside my I'm like, okay, well, if I can't see my grandson because of the toxicity with my son's baby mother, I know how to separate that. But then at the same time, I can't separate because these are my kids, that I don't want to be your Cash App banker anymore. Listen. Right? I don't want you to call me 5 times a day asking me to transfer this money 100 times out of your savings account to your to the regular account because you don't want to pay Cash App the money that you owe them. Listen. Right? I don't know how to separate the two. So the question is, what can we do? Like I said, this is a large private community. Let's not make it private. Let's help one another figure out what to do, because these can't be our kids, but they really are. And they probably can have an episode going, these can't be our parents, but we really are. Yes. And we are the parents that's allowing shit to happen. So help us. It happens to us. It happens to them. It happens to you. It happens to all of us. It's a domino effect. We can't make America great if we keep up. Oh my goodness. No, she didn't mega us. Okay, y'all, take that out. We are here to laugh through it. Listen, we are here to laugh through it. Part of that. Share. I don't know why she just said. She is crazy. We want to share our stories. We want you to share your stories. We definitely want to make sure that we are engaging and building this community so that we have each other, because if nothing else, having each other is definitely going to be key to us being able to struggle through all the things that we're trying to go through. You're right, because I don't know where I would be like without you and my circle of friends who are going through the same thing, and being able to call you up and say, guess what happened on episode 4682 with your niece. Listen. Or vice versa. I don't know. My heart would have been already gone, y'all, if it wasn't for we stumble, we struggle, we tripping over ourselves, but at the end of the day, because we have each other or we have this community, then that's the thing that's going to keep us kind of like whole. I don't know if it's whole, but it's going to keep us grounded. That's the word I'm looking for. It's going to keep us grounded. And so that's why we are reaching out to everybody, because we know it's not just us.
Like, it's not just us. It's so many people, and so we want all those people to kinda join in with us, and so until then,
Until then, we gotta learn how to keep our boundaries firm.
yeah, I don't know about that. I'm keeping my wine chilled.
You probably need to keep your Venmo locked.
She need to keep her Cash App bank closed.
Right?
But as always, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Please watch, like, share, subscribe, follow, and comment.
Please. And not when you call us. Call us and be like, "Yo, I seen your episode." No, comment for real.
Yeah,
Right?
comment. We
Yes.
want those comments. We
If we
need the
haven't talked to
comments.
y'all in 25 years and you happen to see
Oh,
our episode,
just comment.
comment.
Yes, it's okay. You can say whatever you want to say. You could don't like it. You could like it. You could whatever. We want to hear from everybody. So
If you don't
please
like it, can
do.
you at least tell us why?
That's true. Yeah, somebody did give us a dislike, a thumbs down, and it doesn't really give me any. They ain't had no comment. They just disliked.
Yeah,
So
tell us why.
I'm wondering if it was a mistake. Like, did they hit the wrong button, or is there really something that they didn't like? Now, I don't know if it's secretly one of my kids, but if y'all doing that, I'm gonna box you.
Especially since you have done such a great y'all, haven't she done a great job? She went from the HR whisperer to she is the therapist of us now.
Thank y'all for tuning in. You can find us everywhere you want to be on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and iHeartRadio, Pandora. We on everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere you want to listen
Everywhere.
to. That's right.
We
Find
on
us.
AM, FM, CDs. We on everything.
I ain't on no CDs or no doggone cassette tapes yet. But and y'all look forward to an upcoming event. We're gonna try to plan something. Of course, it's gonna be local here in Texas. So if you're in Texas, keep your ear out for it. If you're not in Texas, we may be kind of coming out in your area soon.
Yeah.
But for now, we're gonna start here. And we want to make sure that we get everybody to come on out and visit with us. So
Yes.
look forward to seeing y'all soon.
And remember,
These can't be my kids.
but they are.
Ugh. You could take them.
See y'all next week.
See ya.